Hello, Dan Joss. How are you today?
Doing great. How are you?
I am well, thank you. So, Money Talks. What are we going to talk about today on Money Talks?
Maybe something that has nothing to do with money.
But most things have something to do with money, even our very own identity.
Identity theft protection.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Somebody takes your identity, they'll have access to your money, too.
Yep, I think there's a connection there. Identity theft protection. I see ads for that on TV, and I hear them on the radio. And tell me more about this. Is this a good idea?
Identity theft, is that a good idea?
It's a good idea, maybe not.
The FTC website, the FTC Consumer Information website has some information.
And that's the Federal Trade Commission?
Yes.
Okay.
So go there for more information. But I'm going to give you a quick overview of what I found there. I'd say one is, what are identity theft protection services? And as you know, most companies advertise, as you mentioned, identity theft protection services. But in fact, no service can protect you from having identity theft stolen.
Really?
Right. But they're typically either monitoring or recovery services. So
Really?
Monitoring service, like a credit monitoring service, watches the use of your credit.
Okay.
And can see if there's something unusual happening, will reach out to you and say, is this you? Should we stop it? Or, what's the deal if it's out of the norm? Identity monitoring monitors things other than your credit. So your Social Security, your driver's license, passport, medical ID, and all those kinds of things. And then they alert you if something unusual happens. So if you're looking for a monitoring service, you'll want to ask, what they monitor. Is it credit? Is it personal information? What do you offer me? What information do you need from me?
Right.
To kind of get you going. They'll need to know your credit card numbers if you want them to monitor your credit card numbers, those kind of things. And then what are their services? And then what do those services cost? And then you can kind of compare between service when you're actually comparing the same service providers.
Right.
You'd have one monitoring your credit and one not monitoring your credit. And so the costs would be different.
True.
Identity recovery services is the next step. So now your identity has been stolen. Now you have to pay to get everything done right so that it's back to normal. So
right.
Change accounts, contact creditors if you've been stolen from or they've been stolen from as if they were you.
Right.
And that takes some time.
I would think it takes a lot of time.
You write a few letters, you reach out to a few different people and go through that rigmarole. And that's what identity recovery services do for you.
Okay.
So again, how quickly will they do that? What will they do for you? How much will they do for you? And what does that cost you?
And they probably have different packages worth of protection to offer. And perhaps some of our credit cards and bank accounts already have some level of identity theft protection built into them.
Right. And there's things that we can do for free, too.
Okay.
We could check our credit.
Right.
We can freeze our credit.
Okay.
And then unfreeze it. And there's sometimes insurance already available to us.
Right.
Say check your renters, check your homeowners insurance, and see what is already being provided to you, either in the policy or in the rider, and then see what else or what other services you may want to obtain.
Well, that makes good sense.
But you can monitor your credit for free. You get one report from each of the credit bureaus each year for free. You review your statements every month.
Right.
Or insurance. Review the explanation of benefits when you've used your insurance. Make sure that the things are accurate and it's you receiving those benefits and not somebody else.
So it sounds like in many ways it's like most things. You can either do a good job of it yourself and monitor what you're supposed to yourself.
For low cost.
Or you can pay somebody else to do it.
That's right.
You can clean your own house, or you can hire someone to come in and clean it for you.
Or you can balance your own checkbook or just hope that it's right.
Yeah. I know people in both categories. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so I'd say check the Federal Trade Commission Consumer Information website. Do a search on identity theft, and it's something that needs to be paid attention to.
Right. And certainly something worth looking into.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Dan Joss, we appreciate that very much. It's always interesting the things that you come in and talk about that aren't related to money, but in this instance is very much tied to money.
Yep, we get these questions.
Yep.
And there are service providers offering their services, and so it's good to see if it would be valuable to you and whether you want to take advantage of it or not.
It's nice to have you as a resource for that sort of advice.
Yep.
If someone wants to call and talk to you, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can call me at 757-903-2127 or check out our website at jossbrown.com.
Excellent. Well, we appreciate it very much.
Thank
you,
you.
Dan Joss. Money Talks is a weekly program presented for the listener's benefit and entertainment. It is provided at no cost to the listener, and the ideas, opinions, and comments are not to be construed as legal advice, tax advice, investment advice, or other advice specific to the listener. Listeners are encouraged to seek the advice of a licensed professional or other qualified party when dealing with financial, legal, tax, medical, investment, insurance, taxidermy, plumbing, electrical, carpentry, real estate, chiropractic, veterinary, oral hygiene, hot air ballooning, etc. We have given you some food for thought. Now, call a licensed professional such as Dan Joss at 757-903-2127. Thanks for listening, and remember, failing to plan is planning to fail.